Hey guys, this is Martinus here. I'm going to be going over some of the talents in my spec that I use in ARMS PvP. By no means is this going to be a concrete spec guide because of the changes to 4.1 that are coming soon, and also you want to adapt to your own playstyle. First of all, we have War Academy here, which I think is one of the more set-in-stone abilities that all ARMS warriors should use. Any talents that give you overall just damage boost to any skills that you use all the time is just going to be something that you definitely should get. And the 15% bonus to Mortal Strike is what we're looking for here, as well as Victory Rush. Field Dressing, it increases all healing received to you by 6% and your own healing abilities by 20%. So if you're running with a healer, that's definitely going to help you a lot. I run double DPS, and just the self-healing alone, 20%, is just enough to give me 2 points into this talent. As well as if you are like a Draenei, your racial ability is considered self-healing. You'll see a little bit of benefit from that as well with the 20%. Another concrete ability that I think should be set in stone is Blitz. Your charge generates 10 additional rage, stuns an additional 2 nearby targets. It's very helpful. The extra rage definitely is helpful as well. Shouldn't be passing that up. I'm going to skip Tactical Mastery. Second Wind is basically you're going to generate 20 rage and 6% of your total health over 10 seconds whenever you're struck by a stun or immobilize. Stuns are pretty obvious. Any type of stun is going to activate Second Wind. Immobilize is anything that makes you stop movement. That's not to be mixed up with snares. You're looking at like roots and such as what's going to trigger Second Wind. Deep Wounds. This is basically like an extra dot that you don't have to use a global cooldown for. It's gonna all your criticals are gonna deal 48% of your melee weapon damage over 6 seconds. Drums of War. This is gonna reduce your interrupts by 100% rage cost, so it's basically rage-free interrupts. You don't have to worry about it. Taste for Blood is one that you should never pass up. It's going to increase your overpower critical strike chance by 60%. That's on top of whatever your critical strike chance is right now. In addition, you get a 100% chance of proccing overpower when you use Rend. I've noticed Rend ticks will also activate Taste for Blood. It just can't be activated more than once every 5 seconds. So this is a big skill to use. Sweeping Strikes. This is a little bit of a controversy, but with me, I use it. I just think that the ability to strike an additional nearby opponent is invaluable, as well as you can pop this right before Blade Storm, and as long as you have 2 targets nearby, it's going to strike each opponent twice. What situations do you have that gives you 2 targets? Well, even like 1 versus 1. A Hunter has a pet, that's 2 targets. DK has a pet, that's 2 targets, etc. Impale, you need 3 points in Deep Wounds in order to get Impale, but it's going to increase the critical strike damage bonus of Mortal Strike, Slam, and Overpower by 20%. Slam's going to be a lot more usable here in 4.1 patch, so basically all of your critical bonus damage is going to be boosted. That's definitely something that you want to grab it. Improved Hamstring, this is going to be great in 4.1. It's going to reduce the cooldown. Right now, though, it's still going to immobilize your target if you hit them twice. It cannot occur once every 30 seconds. Still a great skill to use against kiting classes. We're going to skip Improved Slam for right now. Currently we're at the 4.06 patch. 4.1, you're going to need it. It's going to decrease the swing timer. And it's also going to increase damage. I mean, you can't deny that 4.1 Slam is going to be used a lot more often. Right now it's not, though. Deadly Calm, basically it produces 10 seconds of where nothing costs rage, but you continue to generate rage. So if you use this without Any rage right now, by the time 10 seconds passes, you're going to have not only all those abilities that you got off that cost no rage, but you're also going to have a full rage bar. I mean, this is invaluable. You have to get it. Blood Frenzy. Any type of bleeds that you put on an enemy, they're going to take 4% physical damage and 30% extra bleed damage. I mean, this is one of those abilities, like I said, it's increasing your overall damage output. I mean, you can't pass that up. Plus the 10% chance to generate additional rage. It's just that's just gravy right there. Lambs of Slaughter, one of our bread and butter talents here. Mortal Strike causes the Slaughter effect, which increases your damage of Execute, Overpower, Slam, and Mortal Strike by 10%. It's going to last 15 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times. Your stacks will refresh every time you use Mortal Strike. You will have this on constantly. This is definitely a huge, huge buff. 30% extra damage to basically every single talent that we use. You'd be stupid not to put in, your 3 points into that. Juggernaut's going to let you use Charge in Combat. This is definitely one of those set in stone abilities. It's going to increase your stun. They're going to be nerfing this here soon, but still definitely something that you should be using no matter what the patch is. Sudden Death is going to basically give you a 6% chance of resetting the cooldown on your Colossus Smash, and it says keep 10 rage after using Execute. That's not so much the big deal. We want the cooldown reset of Colossus Smash. That's a big deal. Wrecking Crew, that's basically your Mortal Strike criticals. It's going to have a 100% chance of enraging you. When you crit with with Mortal Strike, it's going to enrage you. 12 seconds of increased damage by 10%. Can't go wrong. Throwdown, it's basically one of those CCs. It's going to interrupt. It's going to mobilize. 5 seconds. It's huge. I mean, you don't pass this up. And then, of course, Blade Storm. Blade Storm, great AoE. Breaks snares. You're immune to stuff when you're, doing a Blade Storm. The rest of these talents are kind of, it's to your playstyle. This is what I use. Some people use Insight. I think the rage cost is going to be out of this world, especially with the 4.1 patch. I mean, the guaranteed critical isn't all that great compared to some of the other things I've seen. I put 3 points of Blood Craze. After taking any type of damage, you have a 10% chance to regenerate health, 3.5% of your health over 5 seconds. The more health you have, the longer you live. The longer you live, the more damage you do. Cruelty, it's going to increase your critical strike chance of Bloodthirst, Mortal Strike, Shield Slam, and Mortal Strike. It's 10% chance increased of critical striking, and that goes very well with Sudden Death, because that depends on your Mortal Strike crits. That's just increasing not only your chances to get an additional critical strike, but it's going to increase your chance on getting, like Wrecking Crew here. That's your Mortal Strike crits. That's gonna increase your chances to become enraged, and that's 10% damage for 12 seconds. So Wrecking Crew, that's gonna stack well with Cruelty. And then of course Piercing Howl. Piercing Howl is an AoE snare. Basically, if you're not within range of improved hamstring, like if Hunter's kiting you, you can use Piercing Howl to close in on them, and then apply the improved hamstring. This is just a great snare effect all around. So those are my talents. There are some people that use Rude Interruption, Booming Voice. Like I said, it's all about your play style, how you play. Make sure you mold your spec into something that's going to mold and synergize well with your play style. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll have more on macros here soon. Thank you.